All right, in this video, we're gonna work on our primal movements in a nice controlled circuit, developing the strength of our core, developing these primal moves. And in this circuit, I'm gonna start off with beginner. Then the second round, we're gonna go to the intermediate stage. And then the third, we're gonna finish off with the advanced stage. If you're more advanced or a veteran, you could start off with the more advanced versions at first. Just go with me and we'll perform the reps together, okay? So we're gonna start off with a nice warm up of the joints. Starting from head, working down to the toes. So we're just gonna look back and forth. Focus on your breath here. Concentrate on your posture and just looking side to side. Okay, now we're gonna do neck tilt. So we're just tilting our heads side to side. Again, focusing on your breath. Stand tall, shoulders wrapping down their sockets. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, now we're gonna move to the shoulders. Small circles here. Nice and controlled. And I want you, throughout this entire session, move just nice and controlled. Okay, switch directions. This isn't a race here. We're not worried about, our cardio levels too much. We're more focused on just moving with control and focusing on our strength. Okay, now we're gonna move to the elbows. Just circles here. So we're taking the forearms, going in circles, warming up the elbows, one direction here. Okay, now switch. Same thing, and whatever's comfortable. If you like to have the elbows close to your sides, you can do the same circles here, or more in front, whatever's comfortable here. Now we're going to the wrists. Clasp the hands together, and we're just rotating side to side here, or in a circular or a figure 8 rotation, okay? I'm really gonna work on warming up the wrists because it's so important for these exercises. Okay, switch directions. Same pattern, but just the opposite direction. Okay, now back and forth. Now unclasp, just rub your hands back and forth. Okay, now we're gonna go to the we'll start with the upper chest here. Don't wanna leave this out. Circles here with the sternum. And what you're gonna do is focus on taking the sternum out to the side, and the rest of your body is staying in the same spot. So really try to isolate with your sternum and your chest, drawing these big circles here. Okay, now switch directions. Really great to work on this exercise. Open up the upper back and the chest area. Okay, now to the hips. We're gonna perform circles here. You can hinge like I'm doing here, which I think feels so good. You can kind of work the hamstrings. But if hinging right now is a little too much, you can just stand upright and perform circles with the hips, okay? Now we're gonna switch directions. Controlled movements here. Keep the legs straight. Only working with the hips here, okay? Okay, now we're gonna move to the knees. Circles here. Circular rotation. Small circles, feet together. Chest upright as much as possible, and shoulders down their sockets. Okay, switch directions. This is a great little exercise to get the knees, a little bit of the ankles as well, because I'm rocking back and forth from the toes and the heels. Okay, now we're gonna go to the ankles. Circles here, just light pressure on the toe and drawing circles around here, okay? Now we're gonna switch to the opposite foot, same thing. Because on these, we're gonna make sure to have a good thorough warm up, okay? Because I wanna make sure your body is ready for these exercises and so you feel good, okay? So now we're gonna go into arm swings. Just going forward and back, okay? Relaxed. You can have a slight bend in the elbows, stand tall, and just gentle swings here. We're not forcing anything. Gentle swings back and forth. As you start to get more warmed up, you can go a little bit wider or a little bit further swings. Okay, now we're gonna go across the body, back and forth. Basically hugging yourself here. Warming up these shoulders, the chest, the arms. Okay, now we're gonna go into leg swings. You can hold something for balance here, but I can just balance in here. And just gentle swing here. Back and forth. Not stretching too much, but just a nice gentle swing, warming up the hip and the leg even further. Okay, now we're gonna switch, go the opposite. Gentle leg swing here. Just kind of make sure to stand tall. Don't overarch with the low back, okay? Make sure to keep that in position. We're just focusing on the hip here and getting this leg nice and warmed up, okay? Now, we're gonna do just some light squats, light exercises. So focus on that technique. Knees in line with the toes, hips initiate the movement by going slightly back and down. Keep the chest upright, okay? Now we're gonna further warm up the wrists, okay? So get on all fours here and just get in that comfortable position, spread the fingers out, wrap the toes in. All we're gonna do is go into child's pose and then lean forward and back. And you don't have to do a full child's pose, because we're really just focused on warming up the wrist, feeling light pressure, getting this area warmed up here, okay? Now what we're gonna do is just flip the wrist back and just lightly move pressure from back and forth on the hand here. A lot of the weight is actually in my knees, so it's just very light pressure on the wrists and hands here, okay? All right, so now we're gonna go into our first exercise here. So we're gonna go ahead and stand up. We're gonna start off with 10 reps of our squat. Now what I'm gonna do is start off the beginner version. So that is the assistance with the chair. Have this here so you don't go too far down. Get the hips going back and up. Slow and controlled here. Just use the glutes, hinge at the hips. Okay, hips going back, chest upright, shoulders down their sockets, head looking forward or slightly up. Knees are in line here. Down and up. Focus on that breath. You can even move with your breath. In and out. Just focus on really having those knees in line with the ankles here. All right, now we're gonna move to the next exercise. Again, we're doing the beginner version here, just slow and controlled. We're going to QM, so get on all fours. We're doing the bird dog version. And we're gonna do 2 steps, and that's 1 rep. So up, opposites working together. That's 1, okay? 2. And I want you to focus on really keeping your hips square and your upper body square, just moving your opposite arm and leg in unison, going up to a straight line, squeezing with the glutes, opening up the shoulders. Okay, now we're gonna go to our hip hinge. So we're gonna stand up. Now beginner version, you can have the hands on your hips and just do a partial hinge here, or you can use the dowel rod. We're just gonna go down nice and slow, focusing on just moving with the hips, keeping the back straight, chin slightly tucked, using the glutes here, and then back up nice and slow, okay? Just all with the hips. The knees are just slightly bent here, or micro bend. They're virtually straight. Feet are shoulder width apart, gripping into the ground with the toes. Try to have a nice straight line with the back and the head. And just going down nice and controlled, using the glutes here. Okay, loading up and back. And as you start to feel more and more comfortable, go a little bit lower and lower. Okay, now we're gonna go to our crab walk. Again, this is gonna be the beginner version. So we're laying on our back here, and we're basically doing a dead bug position, working the opposites. So bring the knees up, the hands up, and we're going here. 2 steps is each account, and just slow and controlled here, okay? And really make sure to tuck that pelvis, wrap it under, so you're activating the core here. And we're doing slow and controlled. Nice bend in the knees so we don't have too much resistance. Okay, now we're gonna switch, hop on up again. Notice we're switching from lower body focus to upper body or core focus. Okay, now we're gonna go into our front lunge. We're just gonna work the left leg here. So we're gonna stand tall, step back with the right foot, and we're just stepping, doing the beginner version, and then up, okay? Back and up. Nice and slow and controlled. Focus on the balance here. When you reach back, standing up tall. Opposites are working together with the arms. If you need something for assistance for balance, you can hold on to something, but really try to focus on this balance, reaching back into that lunge position, partial lunge, and repeat. And let's do this. Okay, now we're gonna go into our inverted or tabletop position. Now, with this, we're gonna start off with glute bridges as a beginner version. Great way to warm up and start. So squeeze the glutes and tighten it and up. Hold for just a second and then release slowly and repeat. This is great for opening up the hip flexors, activating the glutes. So really squeeze with the glutes here and try to create a nice straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Nice position here. Squeezing, reaching up and down slowly. And we're pressing through our feet and squeezing with the glutes. Focus on your breath. Find a nice rhythm. Okay, now we're gonna hop up, go to our opposite lunge here. This is the right lunge here. Same thing, we're just gonna step back slightly and bring it up. Focus on that balance. And as you start to get more and more warmed up, you can go a little bit further in that lunge to get ready for the intermediate version. And notice the straight line with my back, okay? And we're moving together. It's a nice lunge position, targeting the glutes here and the quad. Okay, now we're gonna go down. And this time, we're gonna go into our handstand prep. So I want you to do, just get in all fours, and then we're gonna get our feet onto the ground. Now we're going into the pike and then to push-up position. Downward dog, pike position, and then back, nice and slow and controlled. And as you go further, I want you to go deeper and deeper into this. And if you're doing the more advanced versions, just find a good rhythm, slow and controlled. Hit these 10 reps. And the goal is to shoot those hips back, open up the shoulder angle, press the chest towards the ground. As you open up, bring the hips up towards the sky, and try to get those heels on the ground. All right, now we're gonna go on to the second round, and this time we're gonna move it to intermediate, but if it's too much, keep on those beginner progressions here, okay? So squat, this time, no assistance, try to hit that 90-degree position, and then back up. 90 and up, using good technique. Chest upright and up. And if you need to, you can use those hands, slow and controlled, hit that 90-degree position, then back up nice and slow and controlled. Pushing through the feet, up, squeezing with the glutes, and up. Try to hit that 90 degrees, knees in line with the toes, heels staying on the ground. Okay, now we're gonna go into our QM crawl, this time intermediate level. So we're just crawling now, moving 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Okay, hands and knees, we're just building that movement pattern. Back and forth. Small steps, opposites working together. Just focusing on good alignment. Keep that breath going nice and controlled. Slow movements. Okay, now we're gonna hop up. Go up to the hip hinge. So we're gonna go a little bit further. Try to keep that back straight. And again, this will require a little bit more flexibility. You can have a slight bend in the knees, just a micro bend. and really using the hips. The hips are going back. They're initiating this movement here. Back is staying straight. Everything is nice and aligned here. All the work's in the hips, the glutes, and the hamstrings here. All the way up. And as you start to feel more comfortable, you can get a little bit lower. Okay, now we're gonna go down to our crab walk here. So this time it's intermediate. Just gonna rest on our bum, lean slightly back, and move the opposites together, mimicking the crab walk crawl here. Should feel a little bit in the core, hip flexors. We're just going back and forth, slow and controlled. Okay? And really try to work those opposites here. And a slight drag on the ground with the heels. Back straight. Okay, now we're going back up. Now we're going to the front lunge, left foot here in front. And this time we're gonna go further in that lunge and go up. Okay, a little bit further, slow and controlled on the way back and down and up. Okay, all the weights on that front foot and up. You can lean slightly forward with the chest to help put that weight in the front foot and up. Slow, hit the position and up. Okay, find that balance point. And okay, now we're going down to our inverted tabletop here. This time, place the hands by the hips, feet out in front in a pike position, and you're going to put the weight in your hands. You can rotate the hands slightly to the side to open up the wrists and the shoulders, and we're going up. Squeeze the glutes, try to hit that top tabletop position, and then down. And if you want to, you can rotate the hands all the way back to open up even further. And here. Slow movements here, squeezing the glutes, bringing the hips up, and then back to your starting position, pike position. And just open up as much as you can here. Okay? And repeat. Focus on your breath, slow and controlled movements here. Okay, now up. Now we're going on the right lunge here. Stepping back, find that point, and up. Slow and controlled down, and up. So you're getting deeper in that lunge, getting more of a work with our glute here, and the leg. Fantastic movement pattern. Okay, now go to your handstand prep. This time we're gonna go downward dog position. This time we're lifting up one leg at a time. Okay, and back, and repeat. Alternating legs here. Find a good rhythm. Feet are kept in the center, so it's easier to balance. And try to open up that shoulder angle as you lift that back leg up. Okay? Just find a good, comfortable position here. Drive that heel back. Alternating feet. Slow and controlled. Okay, now we're gonna hop up to go into our third round. This is we're gonna go more advanced. And so give it all you got in this. Try to hit those advanced movements. You can use the progressions we had before, okay? So we're gonna start off with that squat ninja version here. Feet about shoulder width apart. We're gonna go down, hands up above the head, going down. Try to go full squat here, and up, and down, and up, and up. Down nice and slow and controlled. Try to get that full squat and up. and up. Down. Let's do this. Full squats here. Hands up. Ultimate mobility challenge here. I know some of you though are probably doing this pretty easy, but for some of us, this is really difficult. For me, I feel super tight and it's good to warm up before doing these. All right. Okay, now we're going into full QM here. So hands and feet up, keep the back straight, and we're stepping. Big steps here. Keep the core engaged. Don't move the hips out of alignment. Shoulders and hips staying square. We're going back and forth. Nice big steps. Okay. Hands are inside the knees here. Okay. We're trying to keep that back straight. And we're just stepping back and forth, finding a good rhythm, working the stabilizing the shoulders. Okay, now onto the hip hinge. This time, let's try our best to try to hit that 90. If you can't, go back to those progressions, okay? Feet in line, hips, hands out to side if you want to, and back up. And back up. Back up. And down. Find that good rhythm. Okay, now we're taking it back down to hitting that crab walk. So up on all fours, hands close to the hips, heels on the ground, up and stepping. Just take as many steps or as small steps as you need, okay? Just working the opposites here, going back and forth. If you have more flexibility, you can really reach. But if you don't, keep those hands close to the hips. That's the secret here. If you're not too flexible, keep those hands close to your hips. And small steps. Okay, hop up. Now we're going to that front lunge. And with the advance, we're going onto the toes here. That's the goal here. It's gonna take extra balance. So in that step back lunge, up to the toes and back slow and controlled, okay? And up. Slow and controlled. Get a deep lunge. Try to get that balance. Up on the toe. Back slow and controlled. Stand tall on the way up and back. All the weight's basically on this front foot. And then we press through. And up. Stand tall at the top. Drive that knee up. All right, now we're going back down. Inverted row. This time, for the advance, we're gonna slightly turn and open up in the shoulders here. So you're gonna see fingertips face to the side or slightly back, pressing through from that pike position, up, and then we're gonna slightly rotate, putting the weight on that backhand and back down. And we're gonna alternate hands on each one. Okay? So slow and controlled. Extra stabilization here with the arms. Great. A little flow move here. And if you want, you can even start with just the one arm. All right, now we'll go into that opposite lunge. This time right foot, going up to the toes. Advance here, see if you can do it. So lunge and up to the toes and down. Well, I can already tell this is gonna be a tough one for me. Up and then down. Up to the toes, try to go as slow as possible, controlled, and down. Up and down. Up, there we go, and down. Really go nice, slow and controlled. Hit that lunge, pressing through this front foot. Lean slightly forward so you can put that weight in the front, and then up. All right, now we're going to the handstand prep. This time, for the advanced people and the ninjas, we're going all the way up. So we're up and down, switch feet. Up and down, switch feet. Up and down. Up and down. Just smooth and controlled, okay? And then up. Great for that, working into that handstand transition. All right. Okay, that completes it. Now we're gonna go into some brachiating or monkey hangs. I added this on here. It's a great way to finish off the routine here. All right, so I'm just using this TRX band system. I rigged it up to where it's a little bit higher. You can use any of the alternatives that we've shown in the program. So you can use a pull-up bar, even a bed sheet. Okay, so we're gonna get into our position here. We're gonna go into a beginner position, assisting with the leg, and we're just gonna hold for about 30 seconds. Now, just hold as long as you can. Try to fully extend. And you want the arms about shoulder width apart. I'm going a little bit more narrow, but shoulder width apart is perfect. And truly try to put the weight into that foot, really hang down, let your body hang, and we're stretching out here. And just hold as long as you can, comfortably, and then over time you're going to progress. Hold longer and longer. Okay, relax. Now we're going to stand up, just shake it out a little bit. If you need to do some arm swings, feel free to do that. We're going to rest for a little bit, catch your breath into the nose, out through the mouth. And we're just going to relax a little bit, and then we're going to follow up with 2 more sets of this brachiating or monkey hang. So keep on relaxing. We'll relax for about 30 seconds to a minute. Shake those arms out. And I'm going to perform the intermediate version. If you're still good with beginner, you need to use that foot, 1 foot or even 2 feet for assistance. Do that. But if you're ready to go to the intermediate or you're already at this level, we're going to go into the intermediate level where we're just going to hang straight up. Okay? We're going to try to hang for 10 to 30 seconds, and then we're going to rest again. All right? So let's get into our position. Get a good amount of rest. If you need to rest a little bit longer, you can feel free to do so. Just pause the video. We're going to go ahead and go into this. Okay, so we're going to get in a position and hang. Just holding here, really relax into it. Try to get that nice stretch throughout the body, through the arms, the shoulders. And you know, if you don't have much room like me here, you're having to hold up the legs, you can relax the legs down. You know, that's the only downside on this kind of hold here. If you're holding on a door or something, it's really hard to let the legs hang through. All right, hop up, relax. That was the intermediate level. We're gonna do the advanced level next. So let's rest those arms, shake it out. And with this, again, the goal is to get the shoulder angle opened up all the way, let the body hang, really trying to stretch this area here. Very beneficial for the shoulders. And like we've talked about before, many of us don't do the brachiating. We're not doing hanging. We evolved from hanging and using our shoulders and upper body more so than we do now, at least for most of us. And so this brachiating is a great way to open up this area, build some strength here, and do it pretty easily, right? You're just hanging for a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the advanced progression. This is where you have the option, if you have a pull-up bar, you're kind of hanging, you're gonna go one arm, hangs a little bit, but if we're limited, like in this case, I'm just gonna be hanging and moving one arm to the side and kind of just doing one arm variations. All right? So get ready to go into your position. Make sure this is in a good spot. Get into the spot. We're gonna go advanced level here. So hanging. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just shifting weight into one arm and the other arm's just adding for assistance. and just hanging like with one arm, and then once I feel it, I'm gonna switch to the other. I'm just gonna do this for 10 to 30 seconds. All right, so we've done 3 sets. If you want to add on to this, you feel like you want to do more, you can do 3 to 5, even up a little bit more if you're really feeling you want to add on to it. But 3 sets is good to go here. And thanks for joining me on this session. You did an awesome job, and I'll see you in the next one.